Hello everybody, Mason here, Cardinal Gaming. Appreciate you clicking on the video, supporting the channel, supporting the store. You guys always do. I appreciate you for it. Let's talk. This might be a little spicy boy today. We're gonna see how far I feel at the end of it. But we need to talk about TCGPlayer and this new Flesh and Blood product. This is fresh off the heels of the Hello Kitty MetaZoo. What's a good word to describe that? Disaster might be a little harsh, but it definitely was not probably the best for them. But we have another not major TCG, one that is for the players and supposed to be for the LGS, with a partnership with TCGPlayer that hopefully we're going to see if we get a repeat of what MetaZoo and Hello Kitty did. Let's talk about it. Let me explain what's going on. Let me go to the website view so we can try to see a little bit better. Hopefully it's, let me see, make sure it's squared up good. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We'll see. This is the next set for Flesh and Blood. It's called Heavy Hitters. It is a kind of back to basics kind of thing. The last set, Bright Lights, it was very futuristic, kind of, they had what they call mechanologists kind of things, where they have guys in like space energy suits, and not space suits, but energy suits, and mechs and things. Flesh and Blood has always traditionally been like pretty conservatively like medieval-esque and fantasy-based. So that was kind of a weird kind of spin-off. Felt very much like kind of like Ixalan, if you're familiar with Magic. But this is the next set. It's supposed to be kind of more to basics. It's called Heavy Hitters. A lot of barbarians, warriors, fighty guys with big swords and hammers and things. And it's supposed to be a kind of a kickoff to their multiplayer format, which is called Ultimate Pit Fight. And it's supposed to have a lot of cards that you can play and have, based on how many players are playing and how many opponents you have, stuff like that. So, kind of like a entry level point to Ultimate Pit Fight, and then kind of like not just PvP, which is player versus player, but like a PvE kind of scenario where you kind of like maybe have cards that team up and things like that. I've not looked at every single card in the set. I don't think it's been spoiled all the way. I don't think. Maybe it has now. But anyways, if you're not familiar, Flesh and Blood and TCGPlayer have partnered in the past before. It's kind of like to promote the singles for the game. So this is kind of different from what they've done in the past. In the past, TCGPlayer and Flesh and Blood gave a kickback, a reward, to stores that sold Flesh and Blood on the platform for so many dollar amounts that you did. Or they had like tiers, and if you hit a certain dollar amount, you got so much free product back from Flesh and Blood, which is really cool. That's an awesome way to incentivize, and a cool way to kind of incentivize stores to support your game, put your game on the website, and kind of get people supporting the game, right? So this is different. This is more like the MetaZoo Hello Kitty, where it's kind of like a exclusive kind of bundle. This is the a promo, a booster box, and then the blitz decks. Blitz decks are kind of like starter decks. It's kind of like a quicker, faster way to play the game, and they're like pre-built. So that's what those are. So why is this concerning? Why does this matter? Well, Flesh and Blood has always been on the stance that the Flesh and Blood is meant to be in person, in LGSs, in stores across the country, and have always been very in favor of supporting game stores and allowing game stores to not only run events and enjoy the community and building a community, but then also being able to have make some money. They do have map pricing, which I've talked about map pricing in the past and how I don't feel it's always the best thing. Flesh and Blood, it's never Flesh and Blood. People enjoy playing the game. I think a lot of people enjoy hosting the game, so they want to get on Legend Story Studios, who makes Flesh and Blood. They don't want to get on Flesh and Blood's bad side. So map pricing only works until people lose the faith in the company, or they lose faith in the game or the community, and then everything falls apart. The map pricing for MetaZoo was an absolute disaster. They tried to prop up artificially by saying to stores, "Hey, if you sell below this, you're going to be kicked out of the program. Most people, when they lost their butts on MetaZoo, like Wilderness, and all the other sets after that, they didn't care. Nobody cared that they got kicked out of the MetaZoo program because they're already losing tons of money. So, who cares if I'm going to be kicked out? I want out of this game as it is. I'm trying to dump stuff to get out anyways. So, your map is not effective. And I'm afraid with Flesh and Blood, is it going to be the same way with this? So, we have 5 days. As you can see, there's no pricing information on there. I will be very interested to see whether or not there's map pricing enforced by this, which is 20% below the MSRP. MSRP for a box is $110. I'm going to be very interested to see if map pricing is enforced on TCGPlayer, especially when this is the release of your game, that your next big set, your first set of the year, on a platform that has already had some issues taking that food out of the mouths of a game store and crapping all over my pre-releases and my own pre-orders with your own bundle. If these come out anywhere below MSRP, I'm going to be upset. Because that's going to be a problem. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Because it's going to be very interesting, and the amount of people that already are kind of on the brink with Flesh and Blood, if they see this and it's some sort of fantastic cheap deal, that's going to be the tipping point for a lot of people, I think. It's going to be the tipping point. So hopefully, I don't know why they're not showing the price yet. I don't know why, but I have a feeling I know why. So, there is another layer to this, though. There is, in buying this bundle, if you choose to buy this bundle, TCGPlayer is giving a kickback to game stores that sell over $1,000 worth of product. Flesh and Blood product. Singles, sealed, I believe it's either one. It doesn't matter. Just any sort of Flesh and Blood on the platform. If you sell $1,000 of it, you get an amount from the sales of this product. As you can kind of tell, I'm stunned at like what? Why? Why not just let me sell the product and just make the profit, as opposed to TCGPlayer having to handle it? If I want to sell on this platform, give me a kickback for selling on it. Say, hey, instead of the whatever the seller's fee is, oh, it's 10% less. Ooh, incentivize. Nice. It's very confusing why LSS and TCGPlayer would think that this is a good idea. Optically, it doesn't look good. It makes the sellers feel really shitty. This feels bad for the stores that try to support this game, because if the price is not MSRP or what I'm supposed to be selling it at, if it's not at least map, ooh. But if it's any below map, that's a big slap in the face, and does not bode well to how people feel about heavy hitters. There's already been some talk and pricing. It's above map. It is above map. I will give it that. But it's not by much. So I'm very interested to see what the situation rolls out to. I'm very interested to see the amount of people that buy. I would think that the buyer pool for Flesh and Blood is a little better than MetaZoo. But this set also does not have Hello Kitty on it. See? So, how awesome would Hello Kitty be in a fight pit with a giant sledgehammer? Maybe a missed opportunity there. I'm joking, of course. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not optimistic. In 5 days, we're going to find out. And ooh, man, we're going to see what happens. And we're going to see how far I can push this without making people upset. We'll see. That is the situation as it is now. Let me know, guys, what you all think about this. I guess we'll see. That's all I got, guys. Appreciate you watching. Something different today, but, something that game stores are talking about and talking amongst ourselves about. So something I wanted to bring some light to. Hopefully, it'll be a good thing. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.